Okay, today I'm going to show you how to construct a voicemail system whereby if somebody presses 1, something happens. If somebody presses 2, something happens, something different happens, and so on and so forth. Now, the applications that you could apply this to are pretty varied. You could use your imagination, but what I'm going to show you is a little system I set up for using emergency dentist. And what I did was, around my area there's a few towns that are close by me, and I wanted to use one Twilio number and be able to send calls to different dentists if somebody calls on the number. So what it is it's a YouTube video that I ranked, and if somebody calls the number, they have the option of pressing 1 for the town I live in, press 2 for an emergency dentist of a nearby town, and so on and so forth. That's what I'm going to show you today. But the other thing that you could use this for is for like a realtor. Give them a number, and you can set it up to where you can set up their listings and have somebody press 1 to hear about such and such listing, or whatever you can come up with as far as your imagination of the usefulness or how you can use this. But what I'm going to show you is a simple menu for connecting with different dentists in different towns around me. So hopefully that made sense, but let's go to twilio.com/labs, or you can go to labs.twilio.com and click on Twimlets. Now here's where you want to be, is access your Twimlets, because we want to save this one. And if you're logged into your account, if you're logged into your Twilio account at the same time, you'll see that you'll be logged into this as well. So, okay, what we're going to do is create, and I'll go slow here, and so you can get the idea of what's happening. But we're going to create a simple menu. So we're going to create the Twimlet. And what we're going to do is combine Twimlbins, little tiny applications, and we're going to basically, when somebody presses 1, that's going to send them to a Twimlbin. And I'll show you that. So first of all, let's just set up the message. Now you can enter, I would suggest entering a message, that you record in Audacity, not just a robot voice. So let's say that you can make up something like, "Welcome to the such and such hotline. Please listen carefully. Press 1 to do this. Press 2 to do this. Press 3 to do this. Press 4," whatever you want to do. Okay, so that audio file is at yoursite.com/audio/ let's just call this dentist greeting.mp3. Okay, so somebody calls the number and they're going to hear that greeting. Now here's where we want to give them menu options. So let's just add, well, I'll add the 4 that I did here. Just do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now obviously anything on the keypad can go in here. You could have press 0 to be connected with the realtor or whatever. Now when they press 4, they're either going to go to another Twimlet, which you can construct right here, and you can chain these together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the Twimlbin. So what I'm going to do here is head over to my Twimlbin. Now you know Twimlbin.com. You've seen the videos before, so we're going to create a new Twimlbin. But I already created a Twimlbin for this. So basically, I have 4 towns around me. It's Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Muskegon, and Holland, Michigan. I live in Michigan. And what I did was I set up a very similar app for each one. And as you remember before, if you set up these little things before with the other videos, what happens is when Twilio comes to this URL, the response plays the MP3. So coming back here, what I'm going to do is, and I hope this, it's a little complicated until you kind of get the idea, but I'm going to take this URL up here and I'm going to copy it, and this is where I want somebody to go when they press 1. So what I did was, this greeting says press 1 to find a Grand Rapids dentist. And all I got to do is paste that Twimlbin. Well, I guess I'll do. Okay, so I pasted the URL there. Now you notice the generate Twimlet disappears. That tells it that when you press 1, it will go to this Twimlbin. Now all you have to do is, what I did was, as far as playing the audio, you could actually do a say command there, and the robot could say, "One moment while we connect you with a Grand Rapids dentist." What I did was I made 4 really short Audacity files, and I made MP3 files, and I just labeled it GR Dentist, Holland Dentist, Muskegon Dentist, and these are all towns that are in basically in my area code, and they're they're in the area that you could do as far away as you want, I guess, but this is just an example, and I want you to get the idea so you can use this for another niche. Like I said, you could use this in the real estate market, where you could have a SMS sent back to the caller with an URL of the video to the house that they want to know about, or whatever. So you kind of have to use your imagination. Now, what I did was I'm recording the call as well. And I just chose a dentist out of Grand Rapids that does emergency, and I stuck it in there, and there's their phone number. And I'm going to record the call. After I record the call, I'm going to send an SMS to myself saying a caller has just connected with a Grand Rapids emergency dentist. Now, if you do this like I've done it and take 3 or 4 towns in your area, then, like I said, this is just for an example, but if you do this, just simply change this SMS to the next Twimlbin. So the only thing that's going to change here is the dial number and the greeting, if you have one. If you want to have the say command in there, you could keep it the same and just change the words. Welcome, or wait one moment while we connect you with a Holland dentist. Wait one moment while we connect you with a Muskegon dentist, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then I had to change the phone number of the dentist, so it goes to a different dentist in another town. So they're calling one number, and what it's doing is allowing people to connect to any dentist or 4 different dentists, depending on where they're located. So on the original greeting, I say, please choose an option that is closest to you. And then when they press 1, obviously it's for Grand Rapids, and it goes to the Grand Rapids stuff. So, so this Twimlbin is really very similar to the videos that you watched before and the apps that you built. It's a really simple little app, and there it is. And there's the URL for it, and what we did was we pasted it right there when somebody presses 1. So you might want to just kind of lay this out on paper before you actually construct it. So let's pretend that I'm going to do the next one for Holland, Michigan, Holland Dentist. So I labeled my greeting Holland Dentist, and this is all in the same file, or on the same directory called audio. And I would change this number to the Holland Dentist, and then in the SMS for me, so I know if somebody pressed 2, I would put Holland Emergency Dentist right there. Let's say Holland, Michigan. Okay, so you get the idea. Now when that saves, actually you would have to create another Twimlbin. So you have 4 separate Twimlbins, but let's just pretend that this is a different one. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to go over, when somebody presses 2, I'm going to put the Twimlbin of the URL there. And when somebody presses 3, I'm going to do it for the other town and the other town there. So what we've got is this long URL here, and that's basically your application. So really, the important thing is that you made each little Twimlbin app do what you want it to do. So for example, for a realtor, you could say, press 1 to view a virtual tour on your phone of the Johnson Street property. And you would have to basically do SMS and send back an URL to the person, and then you could send an SMS saying that somebody had some interest in your Johnson Street property or whatever. Okay, so you get the idea. I don't want to confuse you here, but let's just stick with the dentist thing. So each dentist has his own little Twimlbin, and each Twimlbin tells me which number they press, basically. Grand Rapids, Holland, Muskegon, Kalamazoo, whatever. Okay, so the resulting app or URL is right here. So what we can do is we can save link. Well, let's make sure we save that URL. Okay, I have actually never done this. I just basically copied that whole URL there. But if you save the URL, let's just call this dentist, and let's save it. So obviously it makes it a little shorter. And there we go. There is our app right there. We're going to copy it. Copy link location. And then we would head over to our Twilio account and go to numbers. And we would click on a number, and we would basically paste that URL right there. So when somebody calls the number, it generates the URL, which generates, first off, generates this greeting. Gives somebody an option to press 1, 2, 3, and 4. When they press 1, they go to another Twimlbin. Really what this is doing is redirecting to some more Twiml. Number 2 goes to a different Twiml. So construct your Twimlbins as the tutorials from before that you watched. Construct what you want it to do. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to sit down and write out what you want it to do. When they press 1, I want it to greet them with the robot saying such and such. I want it to return an SMS to them, which would be the SMS verb. And I want it to send me an SMS saying that somebody had just inquired about whatever. And that would be your first Twimlbin there. And then create another one, do whatever you want, create another one. So you could have this press, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. I would keep it simple at first. Only have a few options, but try this for yourself. And you could create one for yourself first. Press 1 to call my cell phone. Press 2 to send me an SMS. Well, I guess that wouldn't be the greatest thing, but you get the idea. So we'll get more into this in the future, but I thought you would like to know how to make a little simple menu. It's actually fairly complicated when you think about it, because somebody's pressing different numbers and basically going to different apps through that. So I hope that helps, and you can let me know if you have any questions.